keep saying we're nearly there. We're almost at the finish line.
It's been long, but it's been super interesting.
And we're saving the best until last.
Right, that's right.
We have a very, very cool special guest with us. And of course, welcome to our special segment on the wonders of nature's pharmacy. I'm Bryce Wylde, and alongside, in a moment, we're going to introduce you to Dr. Michael Murray, a world-renowned expert in natural medicine. We're unveiling ancient secrets and modern breakthroughs of Thymoquinone and ThymoQuin. It's a black seed oil extract. Dr. Michael Murray has extensive research and publication, brings wealth of knowledge about the healing power of natural ingredients.
And I'm Brett Bishop, and I'm here to navigate through the healing landscapes of this incredible oil with you. There's a modern-day concern that affects all of us. Chronic inflammation. It's a medical buzzword. We've all heard it. For health issues for today, and for a good reason. Today we'll tease apart the complexities of inflammation and reveal how ThymoQuin not only supports your heart, but also regulates inflammation, promoting a balanced and healthy immune system.
So let's go say hi to Dr. Michael Murray.
Dr. Murray, how are you?
Fantastic.
Oh
Great
my
to
gosh,
see you.
Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
The kingpin of all things natural medicine. You've been in the industry for many decades. I mean, if anything, we could maybe even say you sort of were one of the initiators of natural medicine. So kudos. But, one of my mentors. I look up to you and what you've done in the industry.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here. Really cool stuff that we have to share with folks today. Thymoquinone, black seed oil extracts. We're going to get to that in a moment. But
I'm going to go set up because I'm going to get some of the passerbyers to get involved with this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? You guys keep chatting.
So, let's start with the really rich history behind black seed oil. I mean, we're talking hundreds of years, really.
Yeah, over 3,000 years.
Right.
This is one of the most renowned, world-famous, most appreciated natural approaches to healing available. And it's underutilized here in America, and we need to change that.
Right. And so I'm all about, as you are, safety, sustainability, efficacy, purity, transparency, potency.
Yes.
And that is to say there's quite a few black seed oil products on the market.
Absolutely.
The active Thymoquinone.
Correct.
Talk to us about that. Talk to us about what this does for us and what we perhaps should be looking for on the bottle of a product.
Well, Thymoquinone is one of the active components of black seed oil. But black seed oil contains over 48 unique compounds. And these unique compounds exist in kind of an orchestra, and it's important to have all of them, but Thymoquinone is kind of the conductor, the chief compound. And so consumers need to be looking for black seed oil products that are standardized that contain 2.0% Thymoquinone, and they need to look for products that are USP certified. That stands for United States Pharmacopoeia. This is an independent testing organization, and that assures that people are getting the right potency for their dollars.
Absolutely. So, not just picking up a bottle and saying, oh, I've got black seed oil in my hand now, and it's a cool, fattish new product. Turn perhaps the label around, look for the USP certification, and then even look closer on the ingredient list for that 2% or more Thymoquinone.
Correct.
Right? Give me a little bit about, though, some promotions around 5, 6, 7, even 8% Thymoquinone. Can too much be maybe not a good thing?
Correct. It just throws things out of balance, and it's very important to be very low in free fatty acids. The free fatty acids can become oxidized and actually be harmful to our health. So sometimes when we get higher in concentration of Thymoquinone, we also get higher concentrations of these free fatty acids, and that's not a good thing.
Awesome. Yeah, the way I understand it, it's kind of even blocks absorption. It doesn't allow the body to take in this very important natural active Thymoquinone. Okay, let's take a step back here because it may be a cool fad, very prominent in the Expo. We're here 2024.
Right.
And we're learning about, of course, standardization, USP certification, all these things we want to look for. But let's talk about the 40-plus indications of black seed oil standardized to Thymoquinone. I mean, this thing, it almost sounds like a miracle too good to be true.
Well, many natural products are pluripotent. They have many sites of actions, and many of them also address underlying key pathologies like inflammation, for example, and that's what this black seed oil exerts. It exerts anti-inflammatory effects. It enhances detoxification. Has phenomenal effects on our metabolism and on our heart and vascular system. So it does seem like a cure-all, like many of these natural products, but there's good data to support that.
Well, let's talk about some of that data. I know you've got a fistful here.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a really cool sort of in the news topic in a couple of moments. Before we do, though, what are some of the most recent studies supporting the efficacy around black seed oil?
Black seed oil has over 1,000 scientific investigations. Yeah, really well-studied natural product. And this particular study is titled Potential Pharmacological Applications with a Focus on its Constituents Against Chronic Inflammatory Diseases. Things like diabetes, obesity, cardiovascular diseases, fatty liver diseases. And there are clinical studies that show benefits in all of these applications and many more.
Inflammation is a medical buzz term of the day for a very good reason, as an underpinning, as I've learned through you over the years, of what ultimately fuels almost all disease, including those that you've just listed, NAFLD, cardiovascular, diabetes, aging, right? And we all want to sort of do that a little bit slower, add healthy years to our lives. Maybe this is even adding to health span, those healthy years to our life. All right, so here we are at Expo, and I'm going to throw it over to you, Brent, because I want to see how many folks even know what this stuff is. I understand that you've got a smell test going on. What's going on there?
Yes, Bryce, I do have a smell test going on. We're going to see if anyone can guess if this is actually going to be black seed oil or not. Let me just try to find somebody first. Hey.
Hello.
How are you? Do you want to do come for a quick test for me?
Of course.
So, very basic. I won't take much of your time.
Okay.
Take a smell of this. Let me know what it is, or try to guess.
Kind of smells like oregano, or
It's actually black seed oil.
Okay.
Are you familiar with black seed oil?
no.
So black seed oil, the active ingredient is Thymoquinone.
Okay.
And you want to, if you're buying black seed oil, the reason you'd be buying it is because of inflammation. It helps with inflammation, chronic inflammation. It can help lower the bad cholesterol, increase the HDLs, the good cholesterol.
Okay.
So good for heart health. You want to look for 3% Thymoquinone again, which is the active ingredient.
Okay.
This product, ThymoQuin, has that. Best bioavailability, and it's also backed by thousands of papers as well.
Okay. Awesome.
Want to smell it again, just for good luck?
Yeah, I will. Okay. Good.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Do you have more time?
I do.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one question.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think, and there's a variety of different benefits of Thymoquin.
Okay.
Do you think Thymoquin can, basically make you a superhuman in terms of strength?
False.
False. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct, but it
Okay.
can help you with that chronic inflammation, which can help you recover faster and then get those workouts in as
Okay.
well. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.
All right, Bryce, back to you.
Thanks, Brent. That's cool. Not a lot of people would necessarily understand what that smells like. To me, there's some kind of like maybe camphorous back note to it. It's pretty pungent. I thought I would share a clinical anecdote in my own practice now, almost 25 years. I tend to run, especially in chronic inflammatory conditions, a cytokine proliferation test. Okay. And what this obviously, as you know, but for folks at home, is really looking at somebody's battery of where their inflammatory signals sit. And what this information gives me is perhaps what ingredients I might best use to tear down the pro-inflammatory cytokines and maybe even elevate the anti-inflammatory cytokines. So a little bit technical, but at the end of the day, how are we modulating inflammation? So I had a young child diagnosed with Crohn's disease in my clinical practice a couple of months back. Nothing seemed to touch, the typical stuff. And as we know, Crohn's is a pro-inflammatory bowel disease that you need to see your doctor about. You never want to try this without talking to your pharmacist or your healthcare provider. But I'd been through a battery of immune modulators, sterols and sterolins, dietary adjustment, lifestyle adjustment. Nothing seemed to be touching this. I thought, maybe I'll try Thymoquin. And And ThymoQuin's an incredible example of the standardization you spoke to of the active thymoquinone, and it was very well tolerated with her. Interleukin-6, it turns out, which was the highest in this individual with Crohn's, we drove it down substantially. Parents didn't want her on biologics, and she was otherwise well controlled. So anyways, the use of thymoquinone in an individual with Crohn's disease, not necessarily in the literature, but it's an anecdote, and N of 1s are gaining a little more popularity these days among scientists and researchers. We got to consider that in the face of personalized medicine, N of 1 over time.
Right.
I thought I'd share that anecdote. What else do you have in terms of some of the science that we're looking at?
Amazing. This is a review of its health benefits on obesity and associated complications. GLP-1 agonists are in the news. Flaxseed oil promotes GLP-1.
So how is that managed? Because a lot of us are hearing about other herbs and supplements that might be managing this whole concept, or either as an adjunct or as a switch out. I'm not convinced, but how is black seed oil doing that?
Well, it's the same ways that others, stimulating the production or natural production of GLP-1.
So satiety, we're getting a little bit of that. Does it adjust motility as well? Insulin sensitivity?
Insulin sensitivity and satiety are the big factors responsible for black seed oil producing effects and helping people reduce visceral fat and reduce body weight.
Okay, so would you say that trumps what a lot of folks are saying about berberine? I mean, would we say that's a switch out equal?
We got a lot of data on berberine. We will have to do a head-to-head comparison.
I think you're right.
But I want to talk about a study that I just came across. This study
in the news.
In the news. This is really cool. It's talked about Nigella sativa oil. That's the Latin name for black seed oil. It protects against cadmium-induced intestinal toxicity via promotion of anti-inflammatory mechanisms, mucin expression, and microbiota integrity. So let me translate this to the viewers. Basically, we know that we live in an ever-increasing polluted world. Heavy metals, pesticides, microplastics. Black seed oil can help prevent the damage that these compounds cause on our intestinal lining. Black seed oil can reduce inflammation in our gut, and black seed oil can increase the expression of protective factors like mucin that protect against damage to our intestinal lining. And lastly, it improves the composition of the microbiome. And if we look at the improvements in the microbiome, Bryce, that may be the real mechanism behind black seed oil being so effective in so many different health conditions.
Wow. And as I walk the showroom floor and I see probiotics like Akkermansia, and I see modulators that are all doing sort of similar things, but this sounds like it's covering a lot of bases. And I mean, if you're getting anti-inflammatory effects, antioxidant effects, immune modulating effects, microbiome modulating effects, microbiome onto the mucin, as you mentioned, gut barrier effects. And by the way, as you have taught a lot of us, when the gut's leaky, the brain's leaky, and of course vice versa. Maybe you've been seeing some stuff there. Okay, you mentioned obesity. Obviously, a lot of folks are tuning into the GLP-1 agonists. A lot of folks are jumping on that bandwagon. This may serve as a natural alternative. We're waiting for the jury to come out. But Brent, you are all about helping folks through losing weight and getting healthy through exercise and challenging folks with obesity. Do you have some tips for us, simple, at home, pairing ThymoQuin with exercise?
I do have some simple tips, Bryce. I mean, we've established obviously ThymoQuin can help with chronic inflammation, help lower that the bad cholesterol. All these are great things. When you do exercise, a lot of times with my clients, they have chronic inflammation. So taking a supplement like this that includes Thymoquinone is very effective. But of course, you have to do the exercise as well if you're looking at overall health, weight loss, and all these things. So recommendation is at least 30 minutes, 5 times a week. If you're not doing anything right now, work up to that. That should be your goal. And it should involve some cardiovascular exercise as well as resistance training. Okay, and as you start to advance, you can add some HIIT training, high intensity interval training. Combine these two, and you're on the right way for great health.
All right, well, come on back and let's wrap this up, Brent. Good stuff. That was interesting about the sensory profile experience. Potency is the name of the game, right? We want standardization, and to recapitulate that the USP certification, we want to look for that 3% standardized Thymoquinone, and we like Brent and I. We love the ThymoQuin brand. That's one brand that's available out there. Really good source of the active Thymoquinone. But as we wrap here, and as we sort of lead folks to understand that there is no miracle in natural medicine, there's only getting the body to do better what it does on its own. I think what we've learned with the help of Dr. Murray and all the science that exists here today is that there is some potent anti-inflammatory modulation solutions out there that people can look to. A summary and a wrap, Dr. Murray, in terms of what that might be in your mind.
Well, I think that, as I said, we need to raise the awareness of this historical plant medicine, and it really is kind of a panacea for modern times, and that's because it impacts so many central mechanisms of health.
Yeah.
So if you want to improve your health, get this into your daily routine.
I love it. Where can people find out more about you?
drmurray.com.
Awesome. And folks, www.trynutra.com/ThymoQuin for more information about ThymoQuin standardized to the Thymoquinone. Dr. Murray, thank you so much for all you do, and enjoy the rest of the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, you stay well, and we'll be right back.